Look like we live on all platforms. Last show of 2025, last Friday show rather. So let's get it. We ain't gonna wait for no more people to come in. Let's go. Yes. Yes, two times. Y'all know the vibes. She like, ooh la la. They go, ooh la la. She like, ooh la la. Hey, ooh la la. On a Friday, best day, blessed day.
Looking for M.
Looking for M's like I lost a friend. Hop up out the bed like, where's the bread? What it do, people? You're now tuned in. Popovich TV. Oh yeah, we live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic. That feeling back up in here one more again. So if it's your first time, then the question is, where you been? Because over here on my side, we like to deal with sports, hip-hop, entertainment, interviews sometimes. When them bum-ass niggas don't be acting flaky. Popovisms 101, and of course, motivation. I got mine in today. Yeah, kid. So before you jump off the page and usher to the left, Diddy to the right, take that. I'm going to need you to hit that like button. I'm going to need you to hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell. So when I upload the videos, you get alerted. You get alerted when I upload the videos, and if it's not your first time and you've been rocking with the channel, good looking. But you know how I do. You know how I plainly start the show. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. And we is in the end game, people. We in the end game because it's Friday, best day, blessed day, at least for me. Any day I wake up and I spend above ground, no matter what's going on in my life personally, I'm grateful, I give thanks, and I'm appreciative. And by that mere default alone helps me see things better, makes me feel better, makes me get through the day and whatever I may be going through, because that day may just be a day from hell. It may be a fucked up day. But because of that armor that I wake up with, when I wake up and stare at the ceiling and I'm alive, whoo, what a beautiful feeling. Like I wake up with that, right? And so no matter if the night before, no matter if I know today going to be a tough day, it could be a funeral, it could be going to the hospital, visiting somebody that's not doing well. It could be a tough day. But just knowing that I'm alive, I have health, I'm appreciative of that. And you should be too. But it's also the best day, blessed day, because it's the last Friday of motherfucking 2025, baby. You know what I'm saying? 2025, and it's out of here. The last weekend of 2025. And before we get to the trending topics, it's a few, not that much. We won't be on here for too long, but y'all know I'll say that, and then I'll stay on here for 2 hours, you know what I'm saying, with nobody watching, for real. You know what I mean? Because I'm from the talk tribe. I like to talk my shit. But on one of the trending topics that we'll talk about, which is the let's wrap it up and them getting that 50, right? You even hear them asking each other, even though they was trolling, when you look back on 2025, what's some of your accomplishments? What's some of the goals that you set for yourself in the beginning of the year? If you're one of those people who like to set resolutions and, go off of that wave, like soon as when the ball drop, not the phone drop, you know what I mean? Like, not the call drop, and you cut them bitches off, but you're like, by March, I'm going to have this done. By April, we're going to be on the road for this. when June roll around, it's going to be this type of wave. And I salute to anybody that, even if they fall short of those New Year's resolutions, right? Setting goals is a win in itself. And I get it. I don't know the statistics, but I think it was something, I know it's something like, 63% I seen, or maybe it's over 70% of New Year's, goals and things that people set for themselves is out the door by March, February. Like, so for instance, you a fat motherfucker, right? You like eating chunky monkey like I do. Even though we was back in the gym today for the second time this week, Monday and today, right? And after that first workout Monday, my body was dumb sore, so I had to take some days off. But even if you're not a fat boy, but just inside, you're a fat boy inside, right? When you're like, yo, I'm gonna stop eating chunky monkey, Ben and Jerry's. I'm gonna stop, eating so much red meat, drinking, whatever it is. That's great to start off a new beginning like that, even if by March, by the end of February, you already fell short. And the reason why I say that is because most of us is just mediocre, man. I'm going to just call a spade, and it just is what it is. Sorry, Miss Rosie Perez. I'm sorry. But that's the reality. It's billions of people on the planet. And the way that we rocking and rolling, my nigga Great Fire fan page on the check-in, what's the word? That's just the way it's going to be set up. Everybody is not going to be, I always hate to say it, but being funny, LeBron James or whoever you could think of, a Hove or Oprah Winfrey, Barack Obama, my president is black and everybody could be the president now. Probably not. That's the reality. Everybody's not going to be the president of the United States. Everybody's not going to have a 20-year career in the NBA. Everybody not going to be able to have a Stedman in the back, and you ain't got no other mans on your body. You ain't connected with nobody else, and you still become a female billionaire with a lot of shit on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of us is going to be average. That's basically what I'm saying. And I said all that to say, what beats the average in most cases is merely showing up. Now, you could show up and be mediocre, but at least you showed up. A lot of people not even going to show up. So it's like, I'm hanging out tonight. I got some buns. I was drinking or whatever. You know what I mean? You got the gym in the morning with your other workout partners, but you keep missing them days, no discipline. You keep making excuses. You keep finding a way to put procrastination in there somewhere along the line. And so they keep working. You keep slacking. And that's what most people do. That's why I often quote Snoop Doggy Dogg skit, before the blue carpet treatment, and we're gonna play it right now just for rec. Mm-hmm. The blue carpet treatment. Where is that? It's one of my favorite songs on that album. Where's the blue carpet treatment at? Damn, where the fuck is the... I had to go all the way back. Snoop got a lot of albums. We don't care if we get flags.
Yeah, man. It's easy to talk
it's easy to talk about doing something. But when it comes down to the actual part, take a little like vacation. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of my favorite songs on the blue carpet treatment. And the old guy or whoever I just played, he couldn't have been more right. And so for the New Year's, if you writing your goals down, your resolutions, and you want to be a better person, I salute you for that. You know what I mean? Give yourself a round of applause for even just writing it down, because I forget her name is Henrietta something, Anna Henrietta, I believe. Write it down and it will happen. An excellent book to read. Most of us won't even write our aspirations, our goals, down. We won't write it out. We'll rather just wing it. And even the great KRS-One, who we quote all the time on this channel, says that you can't freestyle your career. You can try, Excuse me. You can try, but chances are of something coming out of that good, or you making a real way for yourself, is going to be little to none, because you have to have a roadmap. You have to have a game plan. So I didn't really want to go on a long diatribe about New Year's and all that. We'll talk about that. Hopefully, God willing, when we hear next next Thursday night, I believe New Year's, or next Friday, whenever it is, right? But what did you take away from this year for yourself, your own personal self? You know what I'm saying? What's some of your triumphs? What's some of your failures? Where can you get better at? How are you planning on getting better moving forward into the new year? And that's why I quoted Fab. And cut the niggas off when the ball drop. New year, new money, limited call drop. Like, getting rid of negative people in your circle, whether they be your family through last name, or even family because they getting it out of the mud with you. Sometimes you can outgrow. Sometimes you do level up. Sometimes people don't mature and level up at the same time you level up. You can wait around. I'm not saying leave niggas and leave niggas for dead. But you hear that a lot of that in relationships. Oh, we outgrew each other, or, she just matured more than he did, or you start looking at things different. For instance, if you was a Fashion Nova, you was a fashionist, everything was fashion, and, both of y'all came in on that wave, but one of y'all was like, oh, you know what, I ain't really into all this material bullshit no more. So it's getting annoying every time you come through and you buying shit and you Amazon or whatever. And that may be, the the downside of your motherfucking shit. See what's up, man? Let me see what my guy, Harlem Love, what's up? See if they let you on. Sound like a rock to a law. How the brother? Oh, you decline. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Why people grow apart. You have to look at the people in your circle. For instance, again, on the New Year's, and this is the last weekend of 2025, but that saying of show me who you hang with, show me who your friends are, and I'm going to tell you who you are. Yeah, one size shoe don't fit all. You know what I mean? Like you could show me your friends, but that may not be who you are. You know what I mean? But 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, 7 times out of 10, like it'll give a real indication of who you are. And friends may not even like that, because it's like, damn, you including me in the mediocre, ness, and we ain't rich, or we ain't this, or we ain't that financially, but you may be rich with family. You may be rich with, spirituality, you know what I mean, and other aspects of life, not just money. But, this is definitely the time to reflect for those that even celebrate New Year's. I don't. You know what I mean? The Islamic calendar, New Year already started, and every day I already try to be the best version of myself. I wake up with that mind frame every day. Now, I may not achieve that every day. You know what I mean? We may not, get to the top of the mountain on that every day, but at least it's a thought. At least it's something that's embedded. It's like, nah, you're supposed to be doing better. You got to try to get better. And so, that's what we're rocking with. But with that being said, right, let's get to some trending topics. We kicked off the show enough a little bit. With New Year's and this being the last weekend of 2020-25. Let's talk about that rapping shit. Let's rap about it rather, right? So you got Fab, you got Jim Jones, you got Mano, and you got Dave East, right? Who I've ran into all of them. You know what I mean? I'm on a song with Jones, met Mano a few times during his upcoming in his career. Fab seen at CIAA looking real crazy, looking real scary. I ain't gonna lie, Fab, you was looking a little scary. I ain't gonna lie. And even in Houston, at my guy club out there in Houston, shout outs to the president when we all was out there for All-Star Weekend. You know what I'm saying? Fab was, with his entourage and shit, looking a little shaky, a little nervous, a little shaky, looking a little nervous. I'm not saying you was. I'm just saying how I was looking at you, because I was moving around, especially in the club. You know what I mean? And CIAA was just a pass by. Oh, and then also, at Sin City, we was in there. One of the ladies is like, yeah, they ain't throwing no money over there. They got more money than me, but a lot of rappers, it's just like athletes. And I ain't want to go off on this, but y'all know how I could start on one shit and then go to the next. But rich people that have money, right? Definitely way more than me. They get shit for free. They don't spend the money that they actually bust their ass to be the best around or the one-on-ones or, the best rappers and shit. They get shit for free. And so, in my mindset, when she said it, I'm like, yeah, that's fab. Like, that nigga ain't gotta toss no dollars for you to come, shake your ass on him, give him a lap dance. You're gonna do it anyway because of who he is. Like, my face, and that's the ID. Me, on the other hand, I'm nobody. I'm Popovich, Lee, in the real life, Lee, you know what I'm saying? Majors. I got to throw a little dollars and shit because you don't know me, but that's just a side note. And Dave E, shout outs to the brother. Saw Lake and Rockman to Allah a few times, worked out with him. And the Morningside Park, or not Morningside, whatever that park is over there on 5th Avenue or 125th. I forget the name of that park. A few times during Ramadan, he was out there getting money. And, that's how I met him through my brother franchise. He was managing him right after he was managing Jim Jones. So one point in time or another, a nigga done ran into all of them, right? Or been in close circumference. I just say that to say there's no love, there's no nothing, there's no hate, there's no shade when I give my opinions on different people. A lot of niggas be a little sensitive, but we outside, right? Anyway, they decided to answer back to 50 Cent's claims of them being squatters and him buying the building, getting the lawyer, not the lawyer, but the building owner online and woo and And Christmas, because it's Christmas time, which we don't celebrate, yesterday or Christmas Eve, whenever yesterday time be merging, they did their little freestyles. They came in, they sat, how they opened up the show, let's rap about it, and they was asking each other. That's why I started the show like that on, what's your biggest goal you accomplished for 2025, and they was asking questions like that. But it seemed like it was a setup because Fab being a squatter or some shit like that or something. They was all squatting it up, you know what I mean? Big back squats. And basically Fab we ain't leaving, we ain't going nowhere. Trolling and being fun when it's all in fun and games and it's all entertainment until it's not, you know what I mean? It's entertainment for me, no question, right? Too old and, got a lot of wear and tear, you know what I mean, from scrapping and shit, like my bones is old, like Jadakiss said. And I'm sure they feel the same way, even though if it comes down to it, and they're going to have to do what they got to do. But we hope it stays in the entertainment realm, on the funny, ha ha, he, it was a little jokey joke. And then after that, they all, winning on 50 Cent beats, getting at him. Nice little cipher. Jim Jones first from the video I seen, then Mano, then Dave East, and then obviously Fab was last, and rightfully so, because right off the top, you're just talking raps and bars, flows, and and really getting to it. Fab was the best, the best verse on those different freestyles. They all rhymed over different beats. Jim Jones rapped over then when I Whip Your Head Boy, Mano, Back Down, Baltimore Love or Baltimore Thing on She Loves Me Not on that Massacre album. And then Fab rapped over I'm a soldier boy, I done told you boy, then you ride up. Like they all got it in. Weakest ones, I'm gonna say Mano a little bit. Jim, I think Fab and East was the best, even though a lot of people was like, yeah, East, you ain't say nothing. You said nothing. Like, and I get it. He probably like, listen, I'm gonna spit my bars, and they all was laughing about the squatters. But the thing is, you're gonna be included either way. And we already seen some shit now where 50 Cent got some shit on his page where I don't know who's rapping. I won't play the song, but they putting the gun in Fab mouth. They got Fab looking crazy when Diddy was talking to him. And you can never, these things, the bunny hopping, and that day when you was eating that cake at that Drink Champs episode with Diddy there, like, we partied already. Whoo, boy, I'm not saying anything happened. I'm not saying nothing happened. I'm not saying you were scared. I'm not saying anything. What I'm saying is the body language and how you was looking, Fab. You was looking crazy, crazy, shit, crazy, and it's gonna be hard to live it down. People have short memories and they'll let shit go, and then when you trolling or you internet beefing, right? With a nigga like 50, that's the a natural born troller. They gonna keep bringing that up on you. The chain O, you know what I mean? Like chain O. So, bars wise, Fab definitely he ain't pull no punches. He definitely went in, and we here for that because when it's kept on wax, it's like, yeah, I'm better than you. You can't fuck with me. You're not nicer than me. Put your money up where your mouth is. Fuck all the trolling and all that. But bar for bar, flow for flow, like what it's hitting for. And I commented on it a few of the posters that I seen when this shit first was taking up momentum and picking up momentum, I should say. And to be clear, two things, right, could be true at the same time. Because I immediately commented like, yeah, they all spit fire. But unfortunately, not in one of them. And even if they all came together, in my opinion, on the verses, they went and win against 50. This is 50. This is 50. Do 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 do. I don't know what you take me for. I really don't play that shit. Like, you know what I mean? I got an itchy trigger finger. You know what I mean? And you get hit up. I'm coming with the Missy flow. Sound like Missy wrote that shit, even though I know she didn't. But anyway, you ain't gonna win. And then a lot of people was commenting back. They're like, yeah, but we ain't talking about the verses. We talking about bar for bar, flow for flow. 50 can't fuck with Fab. And I'm like, on the surface, I may agree with that. I may be like, yeah, Fab definitely all the way nice, from the Friday night mixtapes to the Soul Planes. But when it comes to who got more hits, right? Like, because we keep coming back with more and more hits. More and more hits, like more and more hits. Who sold more, who got more hits? Hands down is 50 Cent. And although we may agree that Fab is better, flow-wise, playing with the words, putting it together, double entendre, triple entendre, you know what I mean? Like metaphorically and lyrically and all that. Still can't just forget 50 Cent as far as not even his albums and his hit songs. Even the mixtape era, when him and G-Unit, they was at Hot 97 a lot. They was on Clue a lot. Was they on Clue a lot? No, not Clue. What's they DJ? Green Lantern, not Clue. Green Lantern. They got mad mixtapes where they rhyming over other people's beats, going in, changing the songs and taking hot lines and making it hot songs. But bar for bar, there was the just freestyle or whatever. I give it to Fab. But we see Fab couldn't hang with Jada on those verses, and that was more like you do your song, I do my song. You do a song, I do my song. It wasn't even like like how the Locks and Dipset came out. Aggression, not a celebration. Because even Snoop and DMX, which was theirs, was fire. It was more still celebration, like, oh, all right, well, I'm going to come with this. X had energy, and Snoop was giving it right back, but you still never really got the sense, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was competition. It was like, oh, they were still singing each other's songs, and, it was great to see. To me, that was one of the best verses, but verse-wise, hit record song-wise, even all, in my opinion, I got opinions like everybody else. All of them could be on the same stage and pick their best songs, from High Hater to Baller to Breathe, and Brooklyn and all of the Fab songs. And he got a lot. Fab got a lot of songs. The Mia, I'm still in, whatever that song is with him and Tamia, and a few songs Fab, right? Superwoman, and what I mean. I can't deny it. I'm a straight rock. All the way to the mixtapes where he rhyming over other people's beats. He got the flows from Bombs and the Bulls, Back with My Bullshit. Fab got a lot of songs, but not enough hit songs like 50. Neither do Jim Jones, neither do Mano, and neither do Dave East. Where do we go from here, though? Like I said, 50 already responded briefly, little movie clip. AI, like you can't escape that now. You're gonna go online, I'm gonna be seeing me one day and they're gonna make some shit of me, you know what I mean? And it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But to be able to make it where it looked just like 50, it looked like 50 was really grabbing him up and Fab was scared. And let me see if we can watch it without the sound. 'Cause I don't know who music that was, even though I just was playing music. I thought I saved it right here. Maybe it's on 50 Cent page and I didn't save it. Now let's go to 50 page. This is 50. No, he ain't got nothing up. Oh, here you go right here. Oh no, that's so it was something else. 50 Nation is some shit anyway. Like I said, he Herb and Fab up, got Jim Jones running. It's a funny little video. A lot of people was like, yo, he gonna make a documentary. He gonna come with some memes. He gonna troll. He might even buy the building. Fuck, who knows? But what he ain't gonna do is step in the booth. And that's because he don't have to, guys. I know we would love to see the sparring between the 50 and the Fabulous, or even the Jim Jones or Mano. And that's why I can, side note, bring him into the conversation real quick. When he was talking about doing this shit with Jewels, he like it would have to be a moment. It would have to be something iconic. Can't just come back to jump on a 1-2 songs. They got the bag. They got the bag for that podcast. So it's like, why would I mean, you could do it for the love. Nas just dropped another album. I only got through the first 3 songs. And then I had to, I couldn't listen to it the way I wanted to listen to it yet. But, Nas don't gotta rap either. You know what I mean? As far as, I guess, Bitcoin, Bicentennial, whatever, he's a billionaire, you know what I mean? He really made some great investments. So he don't gotta rap either. Even though, he's still putting out albums like he in his prime. But rappers that's, some of them got to do it and some of them don't. 50 Cent don't. He got the Power Series. He got a lot of shit going on. He down there in Louisiana or whatever his film place is at. So he don't got to rap. He don't got to run to the booth to get it out the way. Not to say that Jones and them have to, but that's more has been a MO, if you will, for these past couple of years. Lobby Boys, him putting out music and shit. Gotta remind him who you are. Can't forget that you a star. The back and forth. But one thing about, before I get up this topic, is that, like Mano said, I do agree that beefing with 50 Cent is the publicity is great because good controversy, bad controversy sells all the same. Like to kill one man or kill 10, besides they can only kill you once. It's all the same. So whether it's good publicity, bad publicity, it's still publicity. So to get all of the views and have all these different hip hop blogs and each of them putting it on their page, I don't know if it's monetized, like academics were saying that they not doing certain things right. And that comes from, just maybe not knowing, being still a little old school, not knowing how things work in 2025 and how things will continue to evolve, in a way that we may not be used to. It may take you a little minute to catch up. And that's even if you do the work and the homework to try to figure it out. Some people can really give a fuck. But interesting to see how it will play out. You know what I'm saying? It's all fun and games while it's trolling and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's all fun and games while you trolling, but nigga really buy your building out. Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And why Dave East ain't say nothing? Why y'all think he ain't say nothing? Still gonna get pulled in when the memes come. And he was in the video too, busting off the gun, looked like he ain't know what he was doing. I guess basically to say you ain't been holding no hammers. You ain't really about that life, you know what I mean? So don't play around. But we'll see. We'll see. Let's talk about this other shit. Speaking of rap, let's keep it on rap. Let's talk about Dipset. You know what I mean? I be with a gang, orangutan, animals, bang, like, you know what I'm saying? Shout outs to the set, you know what I mean? But more specific, shout outs to Hell Rail, who I met, I know the story, up north, in Comstock, in the box. Then we ended up going to Elmira together. You know what I mean? And we became cool that way. Even when he came home, we kept it solid. Not so much in the last years. You know, I'm not his day one. I just told y'all we met Comstock in the box, you know what I'm saying, in 1997, right? So that's a long time ago. In these last 10 years, I think I made the last time I seen Hell Rel in person was 2013. You know, him and his lady, they came to a video shoot I was at. You know, shout outs to Master Moo. We was doing something in the Bronx at Gasolina, and I seen him and shit. That's the last time I seen him. Maybe a little text on Instagram or whatever. But that's it, though. I know he had some death in the family. I know he had a lot of things going on. And when you don't see people, when you're not day ones or your communication is not, you know, there like that, you know, people, you know, they be in their own box fighting, fighting their own battles, doing what they do, right? J.R. Ryder. Met J.R. Through Cal. Shout outs to 40, right? 40th stand up, 40 Cal. Met him through him at Cal's birthday party, or at one of his birthday parties in Queens. And then when I was inside on the island, came through on the island, DUI bullshit, and was fighting a case. He was on the island too at that time. Seen him in Law Library. We both was in Law Library and shit. You know what I mean? So shout outs to Ryder and Duke the God, who I don't know like that. You know what I mean? I know he was around and shit. He was managing, doing a lot of the back office stuff. But anyway, these three was on Vlad TV, right? They all on Vlad doing an interview. And I didn't watch the whole interview. In fact, I don't even think it's up because I went to Vlad page to watch it. It might have been a preview or something like that because I went to Vlad TV. Let me see some videos. Yes, it's not here at all. Yeah, here it go right here. It actually is up. So I didn't watch the whole thing. 12 hours ago, Hell Rel, J.R. Ryder, and Duke the God, new album. Let me just see something real quick. Hell Rel, Jump, Dipset, Max B. That's what I really wanted to talk about it from the Max B angle. You know what I'm saying? Because we talking rap and we talking hip hop. We just finished talking, could 50 Cent, you know, hang with Fab if they was verbally sparring on some hip hop shit. You know what I mean? Mano y mano, mic in our hand, put the beat on. You know what I mean? And let's see, we'll give it up. Or even if you're right. And a lot of people was leaning towards Fab. I do too, but slightly. You know what I'm saying? Because 50 Cent, he ain't whack. He definitely is not, he's underrated. But anyway, all of them was on an interview. I didn't see the whole interview. I seen the clip about Max B. And so that's what I want to speak about. And how, you know, obviously Hell Rel, Max B had their issues, called him chopped cheese in the face. And, you know, he was like Max Bigavel and Jim Jones. And he was going at all of them niggas, really creating the wave that you see people still following to this day. Almost like a cult. You know what I'm saying? It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. But, you know, not really too much music in the last years. He was locked up. So to still be relevant, to still have people rocking with you in that sense, then it says a lot, right? Or it just says that people really follow these celebrities and these people in the public eye to a fault, right? Anyway, the part that I want to zone in on is I also want to tie it to something that Jim Jones said. So Jim Jones said recently, he finally said his name. You know, you're like, Max, you know, I ain't really take him, you know, too serious. I ain't really look at him like no rapper. He just was a fly nigga, and he talked real fly. He talked real slick. So I told him, like, yo, if you can somehow intertwine how you be saying your shit, you know what I'm saying, some Harlem shit, which is basically just Harlem, right? I make up words, I do shit. I do that shit all the time, you know what I mean? Right here on Pop If It's TV, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Smash the notification bell, so when I upload the videos, right, you get alerted. You get alerted when I upload the videos. So I told him, you know, if he can incorporate talking fly, talking slick on wax, then I'll fuck with you. But he went to jail, you know, then he came home and shit. And then they end up hooking up. The rest is history. So keep that in mind. Then you fast forward to the interview with Hell Rell and them, and Hell Rell like, yeah, we ain't really take him serious either, rap wise, you know what I'm saying? And then you after all of them speak, Hell Rell, he like, we had our little spats and woo, but we ain't tripping. Salute to him for coming home. You could see that they not salty, they not throwing no shade or hate from the little clip that I seen. I will have to go back, spin the block when I have time. Again, I tell y'all, outside of the channel, I really don't care. I do the little studying and homework, as I call it, to be accurate with the topics, but I don't have time in the daily life to be sitting there, watching whole interviews and shit. Sometimes I do, and then sometimes I don't. That was a side note so you can understand where I'm coming from. Anyway, after Hell Rell speak and J.R. Ryder speak, they both kind of echoed the same sentiments of not really looking at him like a threat or some real rapping nigga, like, you know what I mean? Basically basic, you know what I mean? Like, you ain't fucking with us, you know what I mean? And Duke the God finished it off with like, yeah, because we were spitters. You know what I mean? He really wasn't no spitter, basically. And that's where I want to jump in. Because I personally don't look at Max like no lyrical smiracle, you're not top 5, dead or alive. I don't care if the impact and all that. And this is no shade. I'm a hip-hop connoisseur. I come from the golden era. I quote lyrics like it's nothing. That's why I do this on my show like this without even thinking about it. It just comes naturally. Even when I'm outside, off camera, lyrics just come. I don't know why I'm like that, but that's how I am. Anyway, I don't see him as some lyrical smiracle nigga. But this here's where you still win. Because people in the comments of that Vlad like, yeah, and he still surpassed them niggas. Did 17, came home, still up over them niggas. Still this, still that. And that's their opinions, whether yay or nay, whether you agree or you don't agree. What I will agree with in this regard. I remember Hell Rell, when the first Diplomats album or whenever he got on, like with him, 40, whatever album that was, right? And Cam got the tour bus or shit looked like a tour bus, had all of their faces on. Harlem was lit. And this is when I first came home, in 2004, right? After being locked up for 10 years, almost 10. You know what I'm saying? So hanging with Cal, going to Fight Club. That's why I met Remy Ma. I told all these stories. I just be bringing back because if you talk enough, obviously you really can't change the story. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you know nigga ain't lying. It's the same story all the time. And ain't nothing, it may be new details. But anyway, so all this was happening at the same time. I was trying to get my swag. I wasn't thinking about no YouTube. I should have been. Wasn't thinking about, getting the camera and, being around in that way. I was doing other shit. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, this is that time. So I remember how like, yo, you like the verse or, who you think had the better verse on the song and woo, woo, woo. And I'm like, yo, my nigga, you the same nigga when Comstock was on the gate spitting them bars and woo, like, yo, you nice, my nigga. Niggas can't fuck with you. Even though Cal was nice, you know what I mean? Obviously, Jewels was, you could say, the star of the bunch as far as, how to make songs, or he had the more popular songs, how he, put his thing together. Obviously J.R. Ryder, the writer, all writers, not really a lot of hits. Cal, not really a lot of hits. You know what I mean? Jim Jones, at that time, not really a lot of hits. And then he went on the show like, oh, no, nigga, I could make some hits. And he did, right? So this is all around that time. So I could see him looking at Max like, we the spitters and, we nice. But this is where, I wanted to jump in at. So sorry for jumping all over the place. You don't got to be the best rapper. You don't got to be the most lyrical. You don't got to be, the most metaphoric and have all the melodies and the hooks and all that. You don't have to. You absolutely don't have to. Especially in today's time. But definitely back then, Max crafted his whole wave. Now, some like me believe a lot of that footage that you see on YouTube, all of that old footage before he went to prison, I believe that he knew he was going to go to prison, or it was a strong possibility. So I felt he lived like a lot of us should live, which is like today could be our last day. Tomorrow is not promised. Do you ever think about when you out of here? Your record deal, your video, out of here. Your Mercedes Benz and your Range Rover, all that shit is out of here. Just like that. Get over here. You come back. I think he knew he was going to do some time. And because of that, he lived and he put out footage. He was in the studio. His work ethic was like Pac S, you know what I mean? Or Jordan S, as they say, like Pac S in the studio all the time, putting out his now a lot of mixtapes. And he was working, doing a lot of shows. And he showed people through charisma, through work and ethic, through consistency, all on his own, and controversy with beefing with them and making videos about them, and even people getting hands put on them. Niggas meeting up and seeing each other in the streets. It was a little crazy in Harlem at that point in time, because I know a lot of people on both sides, you know what I'm saying, that was going at it when they seen each other or possible drama, right? And so all that helps, but he wasn't afraid to let people in and show his life. And then it's like, yeah, I'm going to keep writing these songs. I'm going to keep coming, whether you fuck with my music or not. I'm going to put out a song every week, nigga. And one of them going to pop. One of them going, you know, jump off the board and people going to fuck with it. And we see that he did get a couple of those type of songs after leaving Jim. You know what I mean? Those may be more popular because they was on the album, you know, what is it? Diary of Harlem or whatever it was, with the Harlem shit on it. And Baby Girl, you done it down with the Dipset, you got to get your lips wet. He ended up just doing like mixtapes and putting out those type of projects, not like real full studio album projects. And still, like some of the comments are saying under that Vlad post, he done jumped over them niggas, you know what I mean? Like, JR done put out a lot of projects, Hell Rell done put out some projects, but the popularity, you know what I mean, hasn't taken off. I could be bugging, but this is just my opinion. Like a Max B. And you say, why? Is it because they don't got the swag? Is it because they don't got the charisma, the personality? And that's what you can't teach people. You can't, like, I could write rhymes for you all day if I'm a lyrical, you know, person that could just put pen to paper. Some people could just songwrite. They can give you the song to write. R&B people, they get songs all the time from writers and people that, you know, compose songs. But you don't have stage presence. You don't have, and that's why he used to be like Max Bigger Van. He like, I feel one of the videos is mad funny. At the height of the, you know, while they was beefing. He like, come on, guys. Really? You gonna fuck with like Jim Jones or Max Bigger Van? Like, saying it on some funny shit. Like, it's like, who is this nigga? Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what he brought to the game. And what he still has, you know, in his back pocket is still a part of him. Obviously, he older now, so some things may have changed, and we'll continue to see him grow. I will check out the, you know, the whole interview, but just for upcoming artists, that's why I said all that. You don't gotta be the nicest. You ain't gotta be, you know, nice like Big, nice like Pac, nice like Hove or, you know, Jada or Styles. You don't gotta be nice like T.I. or Scarface or whoever's like the Game. You know what I mean? Whoever you could think of that's nice. Black Thought. You know what I mean? Rick Ross, lyrical ability and songwriting ability. It helps because nigga don't want to hear no bullshit. But when you say things a little different, when your swag is a little different, when your charisma jump off the page and it's like, oh, that's why Cardi B. A lot of people, side note, and then we'll get off this. Even back with her, you know, the way she looked. And some people say she looked better now. Some people say she looked better when DJ Self was knocking her down, right? And telling her what to do or whatever, you know, woo. And she was like, well, I'm a real bitch. And this and this and that. I was watching Love and Hip Hop back then still, you know what I'm saying? Or at least some episodes tuning in. And it was like, you seen she had the potential to be what she is now, right? I seen it. A lot of people seen it. And that's why she ended up being bigger than anybody that ever came. She's probably the biggest artist that ever came, thinking about it now out loud. Cardi B is the biggest artist to come from not being known, not having no records, no any of that, off of Love and Hip Hop, to being the megastar that she is now. She's the biggest person to come off Love and Hip Hop. So we give her props now. We give her kudos now. We salute to her for being that and being a female, which is even harder in the, you know, a male, you know, pretty much dominant, you know, sport, if you will, right? She's the biggest. Let's talk about this shit though. Let's talk about Jazz Chisholm, right? And his fiance, Anna Mac. Going, being on live, getting trolled by some, YouTube trollers or Instagram trollers. And if you don't know who Jazz Chisholm is, by the way, he played for the New York Yankees. From New York, right? Like New York in the building. And he was on a live with his lady. A fan had said something about her having the fans only. And I don't know who she is. I did find out who she is before the show. Anna Mac, Baddies, was on the Baddies or one of them reality TV shows. And I know she got a way bigger digital footprint than DeAndre Hunter's fiance. DeAndre Hunter from the Tennessee Titans got taken number 2, right behind Cam Ward, number 1 Tennessee Titans. And everybody was like, no, don't do it. Her footprint is way bigger. So, like, you can do your investigation just like Zoro Mandani, who will be, sworn in on New Year's, right? I think he had one of the people he put in charge of vetting other people, some shit from 11 years ago or 15 years ago, who knows? But you know, the small hats, they ain't letting nothing ride. Like, I respect them, and you know what I mean? Respect them a lot as far as how they give it up. They show the blueprint of how we should give it up. But I know motherfuckers we ain't giving it up like that. No discipline, no love for each other. You know, anything is kill, nigga. Anything look black, kill. Yeah, nigga, anything look black, kill. Know what I mean? Anything look black, kill. I'm being funny, but I'm not. Anyway, so she's on the Baddies and what have you, and him being the New York Yankees, you know what I mean, and player. They're about to get married or they engage, and like I said, I ain't know nothing about it, so I had to do the show, and I find out and say, damn, so she got a fans only, and you ain't know she had a fans only. Now I get it. If you ain't, snooping and looking, you ain't, peeking around corners and making sure that, you vetting her properly before you get married. Even if you plan on signing a prenup, my nigga, you still should have known. And the fan told him, or a troll told him, caught him in a lie, and then he started saying shit like, yeah, well, the money going into my bank account, and make sure you see the face, and woo, and But don't take my word for it. Let's hear what he had to say about it. Let's hear what he had to say about it, because he's a bozo. This is his girl, and this is him.
By the way, they asked me to clear up something.
What?
That's my bank account that shit subscribed to.
Oh yeah, cause come on, y'all already know I be scamming on my shit. Why y'all
that shit goes straight into my
Why y'all
account.
trying to play with my man and act like I'm an OnlyFans girl?
Hey, that's my account. Y'all stupid as hell.
Come on, y'all. Y'all know Annalise, y'all know Anna Mac.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. That's how I know I got a real one. Y'all subscribe? Ain't gonna be.
Bozo ass.
And he also knew about it.
And by the way, they asked me to clear up something. I shorty make sure I get bread. Hello.
We ain't feeling, bitch. Your ass broke as hell on Twitter, bitch. What was you talking about? But yeah, I'm going to definitely stream my wedding. You guys, I'm so nervous, but I have hella time to plan.
Someone said my PR team gonna be working overtime. Too bad I'm my own PR team.
You know what I also told them? Like, I don't even care if we're engaged for 4, 5, 7, 3, 4, 8, 9 years. Whenever we get married is when we get married. I just know we're gonna be together forever. So I'm definitely planning, but definitely trying to aim for the end of next year or summertime. Baby, what's wrong?
You said 4, 5,
Why are
6,
you
7,
in the
8,
back?
9, what the hell? You singing a new song or something?
Why is you back there making them faces?
Because you talking all them goddamn numbers, goddamn it. What the hell?
Because even if we don't walk down the aisle, I'm a fiancita.
If we don't walk down the aisle, we going to the goddamn court. Get that shit done quick.
Y'all, he crazy. But yeah, you want to wrap this up?
Definitely El
You
Fulio.
want to do an outro?
I shorty make sure I get bread.
So the fan put the receipts up. Now all of a sudden the money go to my account. Nigga, you a Major League Baseball player. You getting hella money, my nigga. Well, let's Google his contract. Just out of curiosity. Just to see how much money he got. Not the pocket watch. But major league players, they get paid hella money. They get paid hella money. Contract. Jazz Chisholm Jr. is on a 1-year, $5.85 million contract with the New York Yankees for the season of 2025, having settled to avoid arbitration and is entering his final contract. Into the final year of team control with future contract talks and potential extensions or free agency looming after 2026. Following a strong 2025 performance, he previously earned $2.6 million in 2024 and is slated for a bigger raise in 2026, potentially over $11 million, as he's proven his value with power and speed. So this nigga got, and again, you can love who you love. I'm not hating on her because she was a baddie, because she's a fans only. All I'm saying is, how old is the brother? Let's do that. How old is he? He look young. I said, how old is he? Oh, I did it wrong. My bad. Ain't no rush though. Why do we keep coming up with this? Oh, he's 27 years old. 27. He young. Not even 30 yet. And you about to wife up, or you already wifed up. A lot of people saying 304. I'm not saying shit 304 because I really had no knowledge about her, who she was, and none of that shit until I started looking up the topic for tonight. I'm like, oh, she was on baddies, bad girls, or whatever, that dumb shit that they feed us. Your fans only, obviously, and then other people that did, topics on this, like her digital footprint online is crazy. She nasty. This is what they saying. I'm not saying that. Like, you know what I mean? Like the Buffalo Times said Sarge was a kingpin. I'm not saying that. I hear you, Cam. You know what I mean? The Buffalo Times said, nigga, I ain't say shit. Well, other channels are saying that she nasty. Like, you nasty boy, you nasty. You nasty boy, you nasty. You nasty boy, you nasty. And I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? Hey, you make your bed, you gotta lie in it. Like these brothers, these athletes that work their ass off to get all these millions and dollars in contracts and sponsor deals, etc. If you want me to Instagram joint or jump off OnlyFans and all that type of shit, Streetwalkers, 304s, whatever name you want to cover it up with, and go broke, or have them have your baby and then split your bank account, then that's on you, my nigga. I mean, you get what you get, but you ain't know she had a fans only. You got caught in a lie once the nigga threw the receipts in the chat, put the picture up of her fans only, and now it's like, yeah, that money come to my account. My nigga, you made almost $6 million this year. And she ain't making that much money on no fans only. She look okay. She's a slim body. I like a little more meat on her, you know what I mean? But hey, to each his own. Even if she made $2 million, still ain't what you made. So why her money got to go in your account, nigga? You got caught off guard. You back and forth writing paragraphs with people online that you don't know. So that shows they got your vein. Nigga taps your vein. And all for what? You thinking if you wasn't a Major League Baseball player, she'd be fucking with you? Sorry, my nigga, but she wouldn't be. I'm guesstimating, but black and ugly as ever. However, I stayed Gucci down to the socks. Like, come on, she wouldn't have been fucking with you, my nigga. You a come up. And unfortunately, most of these athletes are. Most of these athletes are. You can dread it. You can run from it, but destiny arrives all the same. You a come up. Especially if you ain't attractive to them, not to me. I can give a fuck. But especially if you ain't attractive enough. They coming for one thing only. They're going to book you, and then they out of there. They off to the races. pew, they out of there. And just to be like, you about to get married and you don't know she got a fans on, some niggas is built like that. Like, nah, my bitch sell pussy. So, you know what I mean? And that's a different type of mac. That's a dirty macking. But that's a different type of macking. Everybody don't got the stomach for that. But you really mean you about to wife up somebody that's got a sex worker page? Because that's basically what it is. You can say, no, I'm only showing my feet. Okay, we don't believe you. You need more people. You on there, you ain't come here for that girl. He came here, he ain't come here for no muscle-bound Jimmy. They came here for that girl. And you know, niggas ain't come here for the fuckery. Like, we know what it is. They came here for your money, my nigga. But anyway, let's speak about this shit. And then we might get out of here. Deontay Wilder. To this date, he got a clip that's spinning right now. Let's play it. Let's play Deontay Wilder. If I have it. I think I put it right here. Yep, right here.
I took the role of being your son father, not just a daddy, but a father.
Right.
I went in so hard, bro. I went in so hard to the point where I put them on my wheel. I had a meeting with my kids. I said, how y'all feel about scooch all over? Scoot over a little slide and let somebody else get a little bit of it. And you know, my kids are amazing. They're my best friend. And they was down with it. So I moved a little space over and added her son in on my motherfucking wing. You ain't even my son for real.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Wow, yeah, that has to take a toll.
I put her in my wheel as well too.
What?
You was just my girlfriend. You ain't even my wife.
I hope that still ain't dead, man.
Yeah, man.
I hope
One time the dude told me. One time the son said, "You ain't my daddy." Now that's one thing you don't say to a man that ain't your daddy. Don't remind him that you ain't his daddy. You ain't. You know what I'm saying? Don't remind me that.
You hit his mom though. You relinquish all rights to respect. Money can't fix you beating up his mom's dog. Because I have my stepdaddy license, I only want to date gently used baby mamas, but that kid better be well behaved, respectful of male authority, and never fix their mouth to say I ain't their daddy. I don't give a fuck. He watches mouth to one person caring for him. He gonna watch his mouth to the one person caring for him. This why, as a man, you never take up that baggage. Start your own family. Stepdads finish last. Don't ever forget that. I always think about this with men. Raising a stepchild is literally having a part of another man in your house. And that shit can flip in any minute. I strongly advised against it. That was a female. Like, let me like that comment. Being a stepdad is the most thankless job there is. No matter what you do, it's never enough. The child talk their way out of a good life. Kids will say worse to their biological parents and no one bats an eye. Didn't he assault her? So, let's address that first, as far as the assault. I don't know if it's true. I know she filed allegations. I don't know if it was a police report or he ever got arrested or did time for it. I don't know if they settled or not. Putting your hands on a woman is never good. I don't condone it. I'm not with it. In certain circumstances, do I think it's necessary? You're motherfucking right. Equal rights, equal lefts. You know what I'm saying? Like, you equal, then you equal. Although for me personally, I'll have self-restraint. I'll practice, being disciplined and just getting up out of there. But as when I was younger, had to defend myself. I'm not going to just let no woman or even a young girl, like when we was young, just do whatever you want to me. You know what I mean? Smack me, hit me, do whatever. I'm going to hit you back, right? And everybody should keep their hands to themselves. But as a boxer, heavyweight at that, world champion, right? I think he was the world champion at one point in time. So you let Tyson Fury, do him dirty. So to putting the hands on the moms, that's not no good, right? And let's just say it is true. However, what he's talking about is, being a stepdad, not even being married to her, still fighting in his heart, even through all whatever they was going through, doesn't make it right. that I'm still, in case something happened to me, I'm still going to put you in the will. I'm still going to make sure that you good. I even had to sit my own kids down, ask them, can they move over a little bit? That's crazy to hear him, describe that conversation with his own kids, saying, I'm going to just take off a little notch of you just so that somebody else can have. And you hear what the other brother was like, well, I hope that shit reversed now. Like, Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. You need to fix that shit immediately. And now I'll speak to the part of just being a stepdad. I know what that's like. I had, stepdads in my life, right? And I played the role as well. Like, everybody plays the fool sometimes. And I don't view it that way, although I get it. And we spoke about this at lengths on, different shows that I've done. You know what I'm saying? When the manosphere bring it up, you see a lot of men nowadays, these channels and stuff wasn't around when my step pops was around. Both of them, right? I got two. You know what I'm saying? Or I had to. One went back to Allah now, right? May Allah have mercy on him, as we all will. But Papa G's still around, and we love you, Papa G. Although as a youth, I disrespected, I did shit I probably shouldn't have did, not grasping or even understanding the role that he took up. He didn't have to take up, even though he loved my moms, right? You get married and you got, 3 kids, other men kids that you got to deal with, and they bad kids talking about you ain't my father and all. Like, I know what that's like. Played the role and did the role. On my experience as a stepdad, I didn't have none of that. I really have none of that. You're going to respect what it is, and that's going to be that. And, both their fathers was alive. So, we still, able to be in each other's face or man to man to hash out any differences and how this thing going to go. But I totally understand, men of today telling, men of yesteryear, like people my age, telling, younger brothers like, yo, you don't want to do that. Start your own family. You got kids talking about, I had my daddy kill you when he come from prison. You ain't my daddy. I have one of my daddy mans that's still out here whip your ass, nigga. Like, you just trying to be a good, partner, right? Like we was talking in the last show, partner to your, to the single baby moms, and be in her life, bring back some, structure, discipline in her life as well as the child. But the thing is this: whether you start your own family or not, which I encourage that. And whether you're a good dad to your kids, to your own kids, I encourage that. The bottom line is this, and I'm not saying this is our job as men that got their own families to worry about, but these kids that all become single, raised in single households, they bad, right? A lot of them, they don't have structure. Mother can't raise, boys to be men, no matter how hard they think they are, no matter how, hard they try. Not to say that you can't raise good boys, right? And you can't raise them to be, upstanding men and citizens, because that happens too. But it's harder. And again, you still don't know what it's like to be a man, to put you, to go to the bathroom with your dick out. You don't know what that's like. You don't know the burden. You don't have the shoulders and all of the things that come with that. Just like we don't know what it's like to be a woman and what that entails, and those everyday burdens of, living in that body and that spirit of a woman. Long story short, those same kids that we talk about, they're going to be in the same neighborhoods that your kid's going to be in. So I'm not saying you got to take up the mantle and captain save them and make sure all the kids is doing good. But if you ain't mentoring, if you ain't trying to check on and try to give little pull-ups, for them, then what type of neighborhood and society and community do we have? We have a whole bunch of kids that are not being raised right, have no discipline, that's with the shits. And where are your kids going? Because they raised right and they respectful, and you taught them all the lessons that they needed to learn. This is all hypothetical, on one side shoe don't fit all, but they're all going to the same school. Y'all all live on the same block, or the next block, or the next block, or the next block, the next borough. This is what we have. So we have a whole bunch of kids with no fathers, not even stepdads. Then, yeah, we can let the Lord handle them. But before the Lord catch them, your kid might get shot accidentally. Your grandmother, the next door neighbor, you might get robbed. Your car might get stolen. chaos is going to be going on in the neighborhood unless you say, no, my kids is in my house, and when I step out, I'm not the father to all kids, but I have to still play some type of man role in where I live so that mine is protected. That's my thinking. You could disagree, yeah, you know, that's a thankless job, and fuck that bitch. You know, okay, I'm her fucking head itch. I need some grease on my head, my scalp. Fuck that bitch and her kids. You know what I mean? Yeah, but those kids will come outside to play with your kids, and warriors come out and play. Like, so then what? How do you do it then? You wait till they beating up on your kids or pistol whipping your kids, or your kids got to defend themselves and stab them up, and like, damn, I raised you right. Why did you do that? Yeah, because Johnny next door, they kept beating on sis, and they kept doing XYZ, so I had to fight back. So that's the society that we're still going to live in. You're still going to be trapped in. Whether you in the household of the single baby moms or you in your own house married to your wife. Your kids still going to be into, our kids are still going to be out there. See what I'm saying? So one way or another, we could dread it, we could run from it. Destiny is still going to arrive. Structure is going to be needed. Men are going to have to step up regardless. That's just what it is. You can try to get out of that like, nah, I'm worried about mines and mines only. All right, well, what about those 5 kids that, you know, Shorty had 5 kids, about 5 different motherfuckers, and they bad as a motherfucker. And every time you walk in your building, they throwing a rock, they doing some shit, they out there doing the most. You're going to have to deal with that one way or another. So, you know, that's the reality. It takes a village, you know, and, you know, your child, my child, back in the days, it used to be, you know, I could, you know, get your moms on the phone, get your pops. Everybody is looking out, and not so much more. Nowadays, it has been a crazy epidemic, if you will, of single baby mothers and, you know, boys just being out of control because it ain't no real men around, or it ain't no strong, sturdy men around. No matter what words you want to insert and take out, still no men around to get the job done. Big Daddy Kane, I work. You still need men to do that. And so, you know, it's unfortunate that, you know, he had to endure that in the sense of, I know it probably hurt him. You can hear it even in this tone, like, yeah, you know, you're like, you ain't my daddy. And I said that to my stepdad, because you're not. You know what I mean? That's the reality, but you don't have to voice that. And that comes with the mother stepping in, making sure the kids respect. And that was a big part too. You know, real quick, bringing it back to me and you know, the ladies that I was dealing with, the moms, they made sure that the kids respect me. I was going to demand it anyway, but they also was sturdy enough to say, yeah, you're going to respect this man in this house, or I'm going to whip your ass. You know what I'm saying? Where some moms, they may not give it up like that, so they may let their kids run loose and do whatever they want. And so now you stuck with that. And, you know what I mean, dealing with a fucking baby daddy that's coming home or running the streets, it could be a lose-lose situation all around. So I would tell my little cousins and them, definitely start your own family. But that's not to say, you know, a woman who has a child from somebody else is not worthy. I won't cast that blanket over all of them, because I just don't think it's true. I don't think we got no more topics, and we've been on here for a little minute. We're going to get out of here. Last Friday of the 2025. Definitely hope you enjoy your weekend. Definitely hope you plan for 2026. And everything is not as bad as it seems. You know what I'm saying? If you was a pessimist in 2025, you should go into 2026 being an optimist. And you should, you know, when you're feeling down, when you're feeling like shit ain't going the way you want it, remember what you're grateful for, why you're appreciative, why you have life, things that you are thankful for. And that would help just a little bit, even in that moment, in that instance, you to feel better and look at things differently, as opposed to everything is doom and gloom and the world is over. But y'all know who it is. This your guy, Popovich. Y'all was just tuned in. Popovich TV, my show. We live, we rolling. We unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here one more again. Yeah, kid. Let's be safe out there this weekend.